Good morning, YouTube. Hey. Come on. So, another day of walkies. Do you mind? Oh, jeepers creepers. End of the world, isn't it, eh? You. Go on, stop jumping on me. Stop with your glove. Trying to spill my glove. So, as you can see, it's just got light now, and it's not fully light. It's only, and it's almost 10 o'clock here. So, you can see it's still getting darker in the mornings and darker earlier in the evenings. It's that time of year when it's getting darker and darker, and when you've got the sky laden with snow, there's no sunshine. It really makes the days long and dark. Probably this is about the most daylight we'll get. It looks bright on the screen, right? Ah, it's solid ice here. Be careful. Very difficult to cross solid ice. Just absolute murder. Ice with then melted water on top. It's only 0 degrees today. I said it checked. Probably, actually, the thermometer is probably not completely accurate. It's probably about +1. So probably something like that, because the water is kind of icy but not completely iced over. So as you can see, very wet and muddy, and this is once again typical St. Petersburg weather. Don't pee on my old work car. Wait. Very typical St. Petersburg weather, where it's kind of warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. Really horrible. I heard people from Murmansk said it's much better up there because it just stays cold and frozen, and you don't get this horrible weather that we get down here. I don't like this weather. It's I'd rather have either one way or the other. I prefer to be obviously I don't like the cold, too cold, but I'd rather have it one way or the other. At least if it's like frozen, the ground, it's not this muddy, horrible stuff that's nasty. But on the other hand, the snow has melted. It means we can go for a wander through the forest. So we'll do that, shan't we, eh, doggies? We can do that because the snow has virtually melted. Oh God almighty, you're full of it, aren't you? Every puddle we have to drink out of. Is the vodka better in Russia? Good morning, 5 from 98. Is the morning vodka better in Russia? No, it's the same stuff. Unless you're a vodka connoisseur, and I'm not. Like people who, like these whiskey connoisseurs, innit? They can tell what year it was. What are you doing? What year it was made and how long it was matured and all that sort of stuff. I suppose it's the same with vodka. The people have their favourites. To me, I'll say same. Vodka and vodka. I don't know that much difference, to be honest. And I liked vodka, as a youth. Vodka and fresh orange juice was my tipple back in the day. In nightclubs and that, I was like vodka and fresh orange. But these days, very, 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 very rarely touch it. It's not something I would drink often. Cognac's kind of little bit better, but again, rarely touch it. A brandy or a cognac kind of better than a whiskey. A whiskey over there, don't like it. I don't know. I've just gone off for drinking. I can do without it. I prefer a sweet beer now, or a beer with basically I drink pussy beer, So stuff like what they used to call it in England. They used to call it lager tops, right? Girls used to have drink lager with a bit of lime at the top. Lager tops. And I kind of like that kind of stuff, you know, beer with a little drop of lemonade in it, kind of thing. So really I'm turning into a pussy drinker, you know. Not got the stomach for it these days. But, there's a nice beer here called Reds. I probably saw, if you've watched any of the live streams while I was in the supermarket, I pointed Reds out. As our friend George pointed out, it's a ladies' beer. But yeah, I like it. It's sweet and nice, and it's easy to drink. It's too easy to drink. I could really drink 10 of them. It's kind of like a what are you doing? You're at that again, aren't you? Rolling around in snow. What are you doing? What do you look like? Ass in the air, rubbing your head on the snow. Have you gone bonkers completely? What are you doing, eh? You silly old thing. What are you doing, eh? What are you doing? What are you doing, you crazy dog? That's how we go at him. Come on. How's the house coming along? Everything coming along? Yes, obviously we're not building now in the winter time, winter period. We're now. It's now everything's up there is covered up. Well, everything, all the material, new material is covered up, or with big gap spaces in it, so it doesn't get mouldy. Basically, the frame's open, left open. Now I can't cover it up, so it's left open to the elements. But it won't cause it any harm. It actually does it a bit of good because, as you know, timber when it's new, well, or if you didn't know, timber when it dries, you lose a good percentage of the size of it. You lose a good bit. So with the frame being up, it takes about 2 years for it to completely dry out. So you get dry timber, then you've got the sap inside. If you ever had a piece of timber at the door or something you have to put on, you see eventually sap comes out, it weeps sap. It takes about 2 years for that to come out properly. And when that comes out, it's fully dry and the timber shrinks a bit. When it does that, you obviously get gaps in your joints. Not much you can do. Not much you can do about that. But here in Russia, gaps in joints are something you don't want. So, my dear husband, Elena, Siva. It's my красивая Elena. My wife is on the chat. My wife, so say hello to Jackie Chan. My wife is in the chat, so she's obviously at home and I'm out in the woods, you know. Yeah, so the wood shrinks a little bit, and because of that, when you get gaps in the joints, you don't want it, especially in here in a frame house. Every gap is a place where cold air can get in and warm air can get out. And it's really, I've said it before, the frame's the coldest part of the house, and they've now come up with technologies to counter that a little bit. So basically you build your walls from 100mm timber, and then you add on 5mm afterwards in the opposite direction to kind of seal in the frame. I don't know if it's 100% effective, but I think it's more effective than other methods. Up there where we are, it's not necessary, and if I was to do that, we'd end up with 200mm walls, which is over the top, so not necessary at all. But yeah, it's all, when we go back now in the summertime, we will be going back with a lot of spray foam, not a lot, but a little bit of spray foam, and every joint basically in the whole frame will then be sealed up completely as the timber is dried up, and there'll be no more gaps. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to do it, but on the other hand, the result will be much better result from the joints. You know what I mean? It's not, wouldn't be practical to do it on a commercial build, you know. So consequently, on commercial builds, you would buy, you know, the best quality timber you can, you know, the driest timber you can get, all treated and all the rest of it. But then it gets very expensive. So if you're going to do a home build yourself, you're doing it on economy. You know, I'm doing mine on doing mine on blooming, you know, pennies. It's something I can do. I can afford to take time and do it. I'm in a lucky position where I've got a house in St. Petersburg and I've got land in Novgorod, so could be no room for the new house setting in the Russian winter. Settling in in the winter, no, we're not. Basically, the problem with winter, if it gets very cold, well, it's cold to work. I don't want to work in the cold winter. It's not necessary. We've got a house down here, so what's the point? We can wait till the better weather. We're not in that much of a rush to move up there. No big deal. There's plenty of stuff we can be doing down here as well in St. Petersburg. Obviously, the old house still has to be packed up. Things have to be done. There's a million things to be done down here, so kind of the winter time is preparation for the summertime. If that makes any sense at all. Ideally, yeah, if I had millions, I'd pay a good company to come in and hey, come on. Oh God, barking him. Jackie, come on. Good boy. So I'd get a building company to come in and build everything for me, and what have you, and I would just sit and watch it being built. Yeah, and criticise it here and there. You know, that's ideal. Walk around with a tape measure kind of thing and a clipboard, you know. Do that don't look right, you know. But I can't look good at it myself, so. But it's a good project. It means that I know where every single error is. If there is any errors, I'm not saying there is. Of course there is errors. Blimey, mistakes. And what have you found in there? Eh? The mouse or something. What is it? What's in there? So it's a case of somebody put a bottle there. Wonder what that's for. Wonder what that's marking. Suspicious looking bottle, isn't it? Why would I place that there? You'd place that if you're hiding something, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just? Who knows? Strange things have happened. That makes sense. God bless you and yours. I hope you have a happy holidays. Thank you. Yes, we will. We're gonna have a nice holiday. It's a nice rest. You know, New Year is around the corner. If you didn't know, Russia, we don't celebrate your American Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. In Russia, we're on the New Year. Obviously New Year is a biggie celebration, and then for Christmas really comes on the 6th of January. That's our New Year, that's our Christmas. So it's all the old Gregorian calendar. Oh, look here, look at this here. That's a surprising winter. Well, I'll be. Look at that. Look at these growing lovely. What have we got here? Are they Apiate, I wonder? Oh, I wonder if my wife's watching. So, it looks very much like Apiate. Oh, I see some strange things in the winter time, don't you? I would think they'd be very wet though, and not really edible. But, there's some snow here. Jackie, Archie, come on. Quite a bit of snow down here. It is melting. If you watched the live streams when this first snow came out, I predicted that it would melt. Did I not? It's been here too long. I knew it would melt, and it has. So that's why we've got no sunshine. Normally in winter what you get is, well, what you should get in winter, it's very cold, followed by a snowstorm, followed by open skies and sunshine. So you get kind of sunny, very cold weather, and that's kind of nice. It's really good. But this is overcast. It's been a funny year. Last year was a funny year. I got a feeling this year could be a funny year as well. But you can see the sky is absolutely full of snow, but it's not snowing. It's like weird, isn't it? Weird weather. I don't know. I keep joking about American weather weapons, you know. I don't know if that's true or not, but I keep joking about it. So the Americans sending weather weapons over, you know. Yeah. So anyway, if you've been watching the YouTube channel, you'll notice that I have been very busy with AI, rewriting all the video descriptions of the series with the help of AI to make a better, more consistent story. It's now much better than what it was. It was completely wrong. And all the thumbnails have all been changed as well and all been optimized properly to get it the best chance it can to. I mean, a building series is never going to be super popular, but hopefully it'll give an insight to people coming here to Russia who may be building houses here or who want to buy houses here. Frame houses is very, very popular here. So it'll give people an insight as to what to look out for and the building process and why things happening, why houses are cold or whatever. Especially cold is a big thing here. Corners cold, blah blah blah, and it's because of lack of insulation and whatever. Can be remedied, but it takes time and effort. Like if you've got a fully completed house and you had to and you've got to select cold corners, the only way to fix that would be to take off all the internal timber of the walls, so take the walls down basically, and then to take off the water membrane, take out the insulation, and then where the beams meet together would be to insulate them with spray foam from the inside, and then have to rebuild the damn thing. Can you imagine how much of a pain in the ass that would be? So, but the reason is because of lack of insulation between the timbers, which is a mistake I am not making, not under any circumstances. Is that ever going to happen in a new house? But if you don't know about these things, you know, when I first built my first, I didn't know about that. I didn't know that the timbers joint together would blow a breeze through it, you know. How would I know that? So, you know, now I do. And it's only by working on buildings here, you know, the foundation work anyway. And I also worked on electrical installations. So, you know, I've seen how these things are supposed to be built. I know how it's supposed to be done. I know the technology. Because I'm basically it's stud walls, you know. What else can you say about them? Frame walls, stud walls, whichever you prefer. So, there's not much difficulty about that, is there? It's quite a simple thing to do. But the difference in technology between Russia and the West is that Russia has colder climate than certainly than the UK, parts of America. Not Canada, you're the exception where you get colder than here. But for the UK, for certainly people from the UK who wouldn't even think about putting insulation between wooden beams, they would just, you know, why would you? Stud wall's a stud wall, right? Nah, here that doesn't work. You've got to get that insulation between the joints, otherwise we'll blow a gale through there. Back to the main road, yeah. And that way you keep the where's the get here, Palky, huh? Get here, Palky. Get here, Palky. Ah, get here, Palky. Get here, Palky. What you got, Palky? Yeah, what you got? Yeah, what you got? So it's yeah, technology differences. Also here And in Russia, if you didn't know, something different to the UK and other places is the fact that we have three-phase electricity here. We don't have, like in England, it would be a single-phase electric cable. Hey! Jackie, shut up! Stop it! What is the need for that, huh? What is the need for it? Come on, get your palki. Come on. What's this, Jackie? Come on, Jackie. What's this? Come on, Jackie, what's this? Yeah, no. Jackie, come on. Come on. Oh, he's having a moan this morning. Ah, what you got? That's better. That's better. Hello from States. Hello, America. How are you doing today? What you got? What you got? Tell me what that. Tell me what you got. Tell me. So, slight differences, yeah, in Russian technology and other places. The electric being one of them. Here, it's three-phase to the houses. We're in at least English, British. I don't know about America, I can't say, but in British English, we have single-phase. You can get up to 20 kilowatts down a single-phase line in the UK. Here, not the case. It's in three phases and it comes in 5 kilowatt phases. So you have to spread it around the house. It's a big problem for house fires here, because what happens is they have a 5 kilowatt phase coming in and they've not split it properly, especially if they've only got one. So modern house would get like this house here, it'd have three phase, right? It's got three-phase wire. And on the old houses you might have single phase, which would only be 5 kilowatts. And what happens is the breakers keep popping. So what they do is some of them, even the older ones, have got the old Soviet style breaker, which is very, very different. It's like a round breaker that fits into a plug socket. It's very odd things. And those, they pop all the time. So what they do is they take them out, and they've got higher value ones. And I've seen 35 bloody amps. So if you've got a 35 amp breaker on a 5 kilowatt line, guess what? The breaker is not going to pop. So what happens is they overload it with heaters. In the cold weather, they put a electric heater on, and then they might put another electric heater on. Especially these what do you call it? Oil heaters that seem to be very popular, and it overheats the line, and consequently the line gets overheated, breaks the insulation, and catches fire. Consequently has fire. So very, very dodgy like that. You have to be careful with electrics. When I do the electrics on the new house, I'll show all that. I'm not going to show just the frame of the house. It's going to be the whole thing from beginning to finish. So I showed you the only thing I didn't film was the land when we first bought it. I didn't do that when it was completely jungle. I didn't even think about it. But I did some photos afterwards and showed the clearing. We did take some pictures of when we were clearing the land. Didn't do any videos, but we did do some. This channel didn't even exist at that time, actually. So I did it as a bonus video on the first series. I think it's the bonus one is the 8th video in the series, and it's every bloody day. Makes me jump. My fault for walking too close. Shut up. Alright, I'm not a burglar. Thank you. So I did it as a bonus video on the end of series, tagged it onto the end of series 1. I think it's called bonus now. It's all been renamed, but and it just shows the videos of clearing the land there before we actually started the video or anything. But the plan is to show the whole thing right from the beginning, which was the clearing of the land, although it's only photos. The pile foundation, which I did myself, obviously I worked on piles, and then the stages of the house been built. Obviously at the frame stage at the moment. It's taking time because obviously I'm on my own, building that. I'm not getting any help with it, so it does take time. So when we go back in the summertime, the next stage will be the roof, probably, maybe, and stud work, internal stud work on the walls, windows, doorways, things like that. There's quite a bit of stud work to go in yet. The ceiling and all that stud work has to go in. Then the roof rafters and roof support ridge has to go in. All that has to be studded out as well. And there's some small walls have to go in. Quite technical stuff. You have to follow the plan very carefully. It's worked out very nicely with the architects. They do a fantastic job. But once all that's done, then I'll do the roof, and all that will be videoed as much as I can. We think maybe we'll have a drone by then. I've got a drone lined up, so hopefully get some drone shots of the roof and the air and the land. Obviously, drones are a touchy subject here at the moment, obviously, and so I have to be careful with drones. But just a small thing, just to catch some video of the build. Hopefully, we'll get some nice drone shots in the summertime of that. Once that's done, then we'll go on to the outside. Obviously, so we're talking about the final finish on the outside, all that, the decks to be finished up, all that kind of stuff. Installing the windows, installing internal doors, internal insulation, everything you can think of. And when all that's done, then we'll go through the systems, the gas, the septic, all that kind of stuff, water supply, electric hookup. Also do the electrics myself. The water I'll do myself, but the central heating system, it's kind of I will put the radiators on the walls and probably the pipe to them, but the actual fitting of the gas boiler I can't do. That's done by regulation by a gas person, and then it's checked every year. Somebody comes out and gives it a ticket, to make sure it's all okay. So that will all be filmed though, all that kind of stuff, and then eventually, when all that's done, then we'll move on to other projects as well. So it's a long-term series. It's going to be a long-term series. I estimate it's probably could be as many as 7 or 8 seasons in that build. Could be a long time. And then we'll move from that into life blog. Life up there. What's it like up there? In Novgorod. And as we depart from St. Petersburg and either sell this place here or give it to my wife's son, one or the other, I don't know yet. We haven't decided. We're umming and ahhing about whether we should sell it or not. I'm kind of more in the favour of selling this place because I don't think this will be a nice place to live once all this forest turns into housing, and all this forest turns into housing, and it will do. This is, I've said it before, it's only a fake forest. It's you notice the trees are not very big. There's still a big one in there, but again, only 20 years or 30 years growth there. That's all. That's all it is. They're not old trees at all. They're all young. You can see them all there. They're all very young. So this will all disappear eventually into housing plots. And I think when that happens, then the niceness of being in a forest will disappear. It'll just be in another settlement that's very much without any trees. It'll be bare, and it'll get cold as well, because here, I mean, I know it can be colder here than the city because obviously we're in the forest here, but it'll get colder when there's no trees, because trees protect against the wind, don't they? If we're not there, going to have wind howling through here. It'll just be house after house after house, and a lot of them will be frame housing. And the trouble when you got a lot of frame houses, when they're all together, everybody can hear each other. Somebody puts some music on up the road, and everybody gets a dose of it. So not really my thing. I don't like what they call cottagny poselik here, or a cottage settlement. Not my thing really. I like the forest. So the new place in Novgorod will be much quieter, much nicer, but it does have its quirks. There's There's different problems up there. Not everywhere is perfect. Someone accused me the other day of saying, "Oh, you're painting Russia out to be like the promised land." No, I'm not doing that. Well, kind of for me it is, but I try not to do that. Up in Novgorod, we have problems with there's wild animal problems, for instance. That's a big thing with bears and with wolves. Not really a problem for humans. Wolves don't touch humans, but for the animals, for my dogs. Can't leave them outside tied up at night or anything like that, so there's that problem. And bears, very close by, we've got bears. Not been seen in our street yet, but there again, there's only one old man living there, so you know whether he really noticed a bear coming past, probably not. So I mean, he took some video of, I've lost the damn video, I wish I had it, of deers on the land. There's 4 deers on the land. They couldn't believe that there's 4 deers on the land, on our land, and that's because it was forested. It was completely overgrown before, and he couldn't see anything. So there's probably those deers were there the whole time, you know, coming in and out, and he'd just not seen them. So it begs the question: has there been bear activity there that we haven't seen? Who knows? I hope not. Don't want bear activity. Basically, if you spot a bear in the village or in the housing, then you call the cops and they come down and shoo it away or dispose of it. You know, can't have bears wandering around with human population here. So they're too dangerous, especially if they've got babies. You know, so really don't want that. But today's plan now is I might have a look at my van, so I can get it up and running, maybe. I've been putting it up and up, it's a bit warmer now, so maybe I'll have a look at it. Not promising on that one. And then hopefully this week I'll be back in St. Petersburg for some more live streaming, maybe. I've got some other areas I want to look at as well. There's somewhere called Lagalova. I'd like to have a look up there. It's been down there since the 70s, but it's been expanded upon. I had a friend who lived there. It's really just housing, and I'd like to go up there and have a look at that. And then there's also areas around here that could look at, such as Novosili, which I would look at, which is awful lot of development going on down there. I'd like to have a look at that. Strelna, another one. Lomonosov, another small town. Pushkin, another town not too far away. Sevlovsk, another one I would like to look at. So lots of things I can see, lots of things I can do over the winter. Lots of things I can video. Maybe I'll make some more long form videos rather than just live stream. We'll see what happens. We'll see how. Oi! Do you have to have that every 5 minutes? Yeah, that's it. I know. He's shouting at you. He's been nasty. He's been nasty, innit? Yes, he is. You've been nasty. Go away, you nasty. Nasty. Go away. Nasty dog we don't want. Now I've got to go across here. This is again the typical Jackie. Very typical St. Petersburg weather. You can see this is now turning in a complete solid lump of ice on the road, and it makes it, and because it's got water on top, it makes it doubly slippery. Very, very, very dangerous ice. Even the dog's falling over, and he's got 4 legs. So, very, very dangerous ice. You have to be very careful. You slip on this and you end up on your back, and it really hurts. So, I'm off it now. Yeah, you get that thick ice with water on the top, and it's horrible. And that's very typical St. Petersburg weather. And you get to see the water sits on top of the ice there. And then what you get then is another... If this doesn't melt completely, and I'm pretty sure it will melt completely. If it doesn't melt completely, then you get a layer of snow on top of that. Hey, come out! Come away from there! A layer of snow on top of that, and then that'll melt, and then you get it. So you get these layered system here. So horrible. But anyway, that's the end of me today. And it's time for me. What time we on now? We're now on 10:30, so it's just time for me to go and have my cup of tea, because I've not had a cup of tea yet. My wife made me take my tablet. I'm not allowed to drink or eat anything for an hour after taking the tablet, so So now I'm allowed to do it. So, oh, hello. Hear that crow there? Where is it? Hey, what do you think you could sit on top of the house for? I think it is your house. Clear off. Big crow crowing at me. So, as they do, like to crow and cry out, feed me, feed me. So, bugger off. But anyway, that's the end of me today, I think. And I'll see you in the next live stream, which could be tomorrow, walking the dogs, or it could be somewhere else, who knows. Let's see what happens over the course of the day and see what plans occur. Okay, I'm out. See you again in the next live stream.